For long, the debate has raged. Is leadership an innate skill, or is it something that can be honed, acquired, or learned over a period of time? Is it a series of complex personality traits such as charisma, vision, imagination, and something else that's much larger than any of us? Well, we are here to tell you that leadership is not something that's mysterious or mystical or unfathomable. It's not the province of a select few. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of C-Suite Conversations, where we talk to leaders up and down the country as we look to delve into the mindset of what makes great leaders tick. Today with us is a leader who, in his capacity as CEO of PD Hinduja Hospital, has served at the front lines of what was arguably one of the biggest crises facing entire humanity a couple of years back. Somebody who's imperious with great integrity, empathy, and warmth. We are pleased to introduce our next guest to you. Let's go into conversation with Mr. Gautam Khanna. Good evening, Mr. Khanna. Shall we get started?
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Marksman Daily presents C-Suite Conversations. Sir, welcome to this episode and thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure, Karan. Look forward to talking.
So, Khanna ji, if I had to ask you, you've had quite a varied, interesting journey over the 30 plus years that you've worked in the industry. If I had to ask you to describe yourself in a nutshell, professionally and personally, how would you do so?
So, professionally, I run a hospital. I've been trained, and then I'm not a doctor, so I've been trained as a mechanical engineer and an MBA. I worked in multiple industries and I took the leap of faith to join the hospital many years ago. So I think I'm a real Indian and who's grown and who's seen experiences across the country and over a number of years met many people, learned many things, and also learned that life is not a straight line path. Somehow there'll be curves and bends, but ultimately we will reach our destination maybe someday.
So you've had a very, very varied journey, professionally speaking, from where you began and what you've experienced. Let's say hypothetically, I were to give you a time machine in which you can go back and speak to a younger Gautam Khanna and give him some advice, or even somebody young looking to embark on their professional journey today. What would those pearls of wisdom be?
When I was young, suppose I were to meet my younger self and I would give him the same advice, which I would try and give the young people. So I would say that I used to believe it, but now I'm very sure there is no substitution for hard work and focus on excellence. There are no shortcuts. It is not a sprint, it is a marathon. Sometimes you will fall, but ultimately if you're on the right path, you will succeed. And you need to have fun and enjoy. It's not that, it's like you say that, okay, I will enjoy when I will become so and so. And then by the time you become so and so, your next destination is there. So you're thinking, I will enjoy when I become that next so and so. It's not going to happen. So you need to just start enjoying whatever you're doing. You like the work, you enjoy the work. You'll get a designation, may not get the designation, but you have fun. Life is not only work.
That's true. That's what everything boils down to, just enjoying what you're doing and committing yourself wholly to the experience. So that's actually a very fascinating segue to go from mechanical engineering into the healthcare business. So how did that transition end up coming about?
Actually, it's a little funny because when I was in IIT, that time one had to go abroad if you wanted to do MS. So the other option was to become an IAS or go to IIM and do MBA. So because of default, I think I went to IIM. And then I worked in conventional industries and I say this changing point came when I joined 3M in now more than 31 years ago. I joined for an industrial business, but circumstances happened that I was forced to join the healthcare business of 3M, which was in the starting phase, and I was supposed to be starting in the region and so on and on. So although I did not want it that time, but I worked in 3M for 22 years in healthcare in Bangalore, Bombay, in the US, in St. Paul. And then, sometimes you decide what is the right thing. And I found that, I was being identified as a guy in healthcare. And I said, but I'm in 3M, I do other businesses also. But they said, no, but your primary is healthcare. And when you look at healthcare, the primary part of healthcare is hospitals, which I was not. So I was thinking maybe I should do that. And then I got a call from here, and although I was initially hesitant towards coming to Mumbai, but I think sometimes things happen for a reason. And here I am, 9 years plus running the hospital in Bombay.
So, away from the office, so if I were to ask Gautam Khanna how he goes about enjoying his life, having his downtime, what would that be like? What would that resemble?
If it is outside the city, I love to travel.
Okay.
And I want to see new places. I like mountains, I like the beaches, but I also like to visit new cities. You like to see new, what is the architecture? Not so much, but limited amount of architecture. It's not like I can spend 1 week seeing that. But that I like outside. I like to play golf, although I don't get an opportunity to play in Bombay, but I do sometimes whenever I get an opportunity to, whenever I'm out of town. I like that. I like to trek, but I've not had the chance to trek for a long time. But those are some things I like to do. But when I'm at home, I like to read. Sometimes I like to listen to music.
So have there been any memorable culinary journeys that you've had across your travels, or what exactly is it that you seek out when you look to travel across the length and breadth of our country and even overseas for that matter?
When I go, I like to try the local delicacies. So whichever is, for example, I can say it, and I think for people who are vegetarians, they might agree with me, that I think the world's best food is in Amritsar, vegetarian food. But obviously one can't eat it every day. But so I like that. I've been to places, for example, I would go to Indore, and somebody said in Indore, you have to go to that midnight market and you have to have that, and you have that, and Jaipur you have something else. And so I like to do that, and Andhra I've had something else. So I like to try different things. Not that I like them all the time, but I think it's just worth trying. And in India, if you're a vegetarian, and I'm a vegetarian, you have a lot of choices. So it's not that you are restricted for choices. So I like that.
Mr. Khanna, thank you so much for being here with us. This was a hugely enjoyable session and episode.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Just as we need more leaders to drive the organizations that are increasingly complex in today's day and time, we also need to try and create the kind of mindsets that create these leaders. We hope that today's episode of C-Suite Conversations provided exactly that kind of creative fuel for you. This is me, Karan Karai, signing off. Until next time.